Hello and welcome to another edition of Guide to Youth. I'm your host, Reha, and joining us shortly will be Dr. Z. Today we're going to be talking about why did it all of a sudden become important for people to learn how to code. As you know, this past week, President Obama went on YouTube and he promoted the Hour of Code. He encouraged young people to create new apps and video games instead of just buying them. So in an era when computer science classes are being cut at schools nationwide, students across the country will be spending part of this week delving in the world of computer coding. This is a national event, and President Obama and other celebrities are encouraging students to learn the basics of computer science this week. So colleges and K-12 schools are offering computer coding classes as part of the Hour of Code, an initiative launched by Code.org, a nonprofit group promoting expanding computer science education. The group wants students from kindergarten to college to spend an hour this week learning everything from the basics of computer science to writing their own computer programs. The initiative is supported by Bill Gates, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, and others who are offering online tutorials. Apple retail stores across the country are also offering workshops. So it should be a good week for computer science if everyone gets on board and goes through an hour of code and learns something about the computer during this nationally advertised event. President Obama made it a point that no one is born a computer scientist. And he said that with a little hard work and some math and science, just about anyone can become one. He said this week is our chance to give it a shot and don't let anyone tell us that we can't become computer programmers. So several celebrities, including actor Ashton Kutcher and singer Shakira, are promoting the Hour of Code. The group is encouraging schools and colleges across the country to put together their own coding workshops. But I have to question this initiative and how it was deployed. The internet is definitely prompting this kind of activity. And though this is a superb initiative, for some reason it did not get all the help and all the support that it should have received. I'm here with Dr. Z. Hello, Dr. Z.
Hello.
Welcome to another edition of Guide to Youth, and thank you for joining us on this very important topic. Many students were encouraged to participate in a public initiative called an Hour of Code, a week-long initiative that was initiated by President Obama and supported by companies such as Microsoft, Apple, and Facebook. However, I want to assert that not everyone needs to learn how to program a computer. During this Hour of Code, students were encouraged from kindergarten to 12th grade and in college to spend an hour learning code and how to program a computer. In honor of Computer Science Education Week, President Obama encouraged kids to take computer science classes. He said that this is important for our country's future. But I imagine he's cut dozens of videos for every other conceivable skill that could be taught in our nation's schools. Nursing is important for our country's future. Agriculture is important for our country's future, etc. So did this really lead to a conversation about whether everyone should know how to write code? This is so tiresome. I can probably list on one hand the number of significant skills that everyone should know, and coding is just not one of them.
Oh, I understand where you're coming from, but I think it is significant to learn coding. It's a higher level of thought than being exposed to those kind of concepts early on in life definitely helps. I think it's just as important and a similar concept to like algebra and things like that. That it's really those can really lead to life-changing skills and a better understanding of interacting with computers.
Well, I think that coding is an optional skill. Some of us know how to fix cars, and some just hire mechanics to do it for us. Some of us know the law, and some just hire lawyers to help us out. Some of us know how to drive trucks, and some choose other careers. In any case, I don't think computer programming would even make my top 20 of broadly useful skills. Is there any reason why we need to integrate coding on the same level as algebra, chemistry, physics?
Absolutely. I think the concepts between algebra, chemistry, physics, all those scientific realms there are broadly transferable between mathematics and science. It's all based on math, and those concepts, if learned early on, I think would give everybody a major leg up.
Yes, perhaps you have a point. These 4 disciplines have been transformed as a result of the Internet and computer programming. But coding, I still think that for the vast majority of us, it's of no use whatsoever. Reading and writing are useful in nearly all careers and are useful personally, even if your job doesn't require it. But coding, unless it's part of your job, the odds are vanishingly small that it will ever be of much use to anyone to learn how to code. Nor is it something that promotes clear thinking or logic or rhetoric, nor is it a stepping stone to other more broadly useful skills. It's a specific skill needed for certain specific jobs. Why is it that now we are beginning to think that coding needs to be integrated and made part of our curriculum to this extent? Why should we invest time and money into developing this skill for everybody, from kindergarten to college?
Well, I think it kind of levels the playing field and brings the majority of our society up a notch as far as logical thinking and solving problems. Coding is a very logical, methodical realm there. And basically, it's just like when you learn how to do algebra. The funny thing is that if my generation, algebra wasn't taught until freshman year in high school. I believe now they're teaching it in 4th and 5th grade. And that's correct, yeah?
Yes, that is correct. Yes, it is true.
And so when learning these concepts early on, it's a lot easier than if you're, as you get older, you get set in your ways and, you tend to focus on certain things in your life. So if it's not pertinent to your job, you may not really get exposed to it or anything like that. And that's why it's important to have it taught in our public schools. And like I said, it's with philosophy and that kind of curriculum teaches logical thinking, and that's a part of the brain that I think that it needs to be developed early on, and coding would help do that. And just a heads up for our listeners, I want to encourage everybody to visit us at razio.net for our previous episodes. And back to you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Z. I appreciate you joining us. It's always a pleasure having you on Guide to Youth. And there you have it, folks. My favorite people, those between 13 to 21 who are metamorphosing into adults and trying to make the best of living in a crazy world. This is Rehaza Ken with another conversation on Guide to Youth. Please join me next time to talk about another interesting and relevant topic to teenagers between ages 13 to 19.